Got a Photoshop question? Brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. It's Ask Dave.
This week the question comes from Tim Nathan, who says, can you copy a smart filter from one document to another? And the answer is you can, but not quite as directly as you might think. So let's take a look. Here, if I convert this to a smart object, and let's do, I don't know, let's do something that'll hopefully be fairly obvious, like a motion blur. Pretty dramatically crazy. And let's also do something else, and let me quickly add, I'm not suggesting you would actually do this combination of choices because it's pretty weird, but I'm just trying to make sure you can see something is happening. Then I would take my paintbrush, although let's use a more regular brush, nice and big, and I'm just gonna paint and say, oh, I just want it to look kind of like this. So all I want to do is have these filters and use the mask to hide it in certain areas. Now, again, keeping in mind, I wouldn't use these specific filters together. In fact, I'm going to go back here and make it look probably even worse. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Okay, so now I have another photograph, and I would like to apply that wonderful look. Well, use your imagination. Now, unfortunately, you cannot simply drag the filters. That would be pretty cool if you could somehow say, give me those filters over here. But it doesn't work. Nothing happens. What you have to do takes a couple of steps, but it's still, in the long run, if you compare the alternative of doing it again from scratch, you do this. You take the whole smart object, drag it over. So now it's in there. Now I take the background layer, convert it to a smart object, and now I can drag the smart filter from one to the other and then delete this top one that I dragged over. Now here's all my information. So in this case I want to maybe adjust the mask slightly or something. I don't know. I can paint on it further because I decide that I really want to look more like this, and I want a bit more of it showing on this side. You get the idea, but really, so it took an extra step. In other words, you cannot simply duplicate only the smart filter. You duplicate the entire smart object. Then after you've converted the background layer to a smart object, you just drag over the smart filter and delete the copy that you dragged. So that probably sounded really confusing, so let me do it one more time. Sorry about that. That just got sounding very confusing there. So let's just undo a couple steps here like this. Okay, so one more time. Here's our version that has the smart filters applied. I take the entire smart object, drag it over. Once I've done that, then I convert this layer to a smart object. I can drag my smart filters down. Then I can delete this or other smart object, and now can go to town with doing whatever settings I want, changing the settings for the blur, etc., until I'm happy. And in this case, I could even say, you know what, I don't really want the noise after all. That looks much better. Okay, well, you know what I mean. So that was a long way of giving a short answer that yes, you can get a smart filter copied from one document to another. You just have to do it by copying the entire smart object.
Ask your short Photoshop question using the contact form here at Kelby TV or through Twitter at Dave Cross. Thanks for watching Ask Dave, brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals and the Dave Cross Workshops. We'll see you next time.